Hey folks, William Haskell here, coming to you from my Santa Fe studio. Working on the second episode of Painting with Bourbon. And once again, I don't actually paint with the bourbon, I use water for that, but I'm trying a new bourbon, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that and about the painting I'm currently working on. So thanks for tuning in, exciting event. Once again, emotional sport animal, and Bingley, there he is. Okay. He's not ready. Hard to control a cat. So tonight's bourbon is Jefferson Reserve, and it's an excellent bourbon. I've had it before, and it's one of my favorites. And it's 90.2 proof. It is made by Trey and Chet Zoller, and they're from Kentucky. And it hasn't been around for that long. It's been around since 1997. And it's considered a sourced bourbon, so it's not a single barrel bourbon. And what they do is they pull together a number of different whiskeys to both aged and new, and pick the best elements of those different whiskeys to blend this particular bottle of bourbon. And it really comes off well. I mean, it's very drinkable, very smooth, very easy to enjoy. I had a Booker's this last weekend with a friend across the street, and 125 proof, very spicy, very intense bourbon. And this one, it was excellent, but this one is very easy to enjoy. So I would highly recommend it. We paid $48 for this one, and it's a great bottle of bourbon. Kind of hints of vanilla and caramel like a lot of other bourbons. It's got a little bit of sweetness to it. Very little alcohol taste. I mean, it's like, you can just really enjoy it, which is what I'm doing now. A couple ice cubes. It's fantastic. All right. So I'll have to restrain myself from drinking the whole bottle. So now I'm also working on a painting. And the painting I mentioned last week, it's of a prickly pear. And this is my pet prickly pear right here. He came from Tucson, Arizona. I love the shape of these guys. They just have a natural, modern, kind of mid-century look to them. I mean, they're so interesting, and they're a lot of fun to paint. So this is my sketch to my preliminary sketch that I'm working on. And I do this for each painting. And this is the sketch for this one. And it takes in the prickly pear and some of the Arizona landscape, which I really enjoy. The natural abstraction I see occurring there is what inspires me about that landscape. And so I'm pretty well into this painting. It's a 24 by 18, and it's a nocturnal painting. I don't know if you can see that or not, but I got the moon up here and this large billowing cloud behind it that silhouettes and kind of frames the cactus. And then I work in all my cubism and modernism into the prickly pear itself. So I'm down to the prickly pear, and what I'm doing right now is just my washes. And so initially I create the shapes, and I do the dry brush, so I squeeze a little bit of paint off, and I create all the shapes underneath with a blue and then a Payne's gray, which are really good night tones. And once I have those, I start to work in what I call my local colors. And that's going to be the overall palette of it, which when I'm done will be similar to this, but it will be at night. And so there's a little bit of a deviation from what you see there. It's not quite as pale green because it's going to be at night. And so what I do is I just put a number of very light washes. The painting will have about 40 layers of paint on when it's done. And there'll be a lot of subliminal colors that make it a complete expression of the painting. So it's important to have all those layers in there, and that's what really makes it glow. And so I always paint flat, and I like to rotate the painting, and just put my washes in there, follow kind of the outline of the prickly pear, and then I'm going to accentuate all the, where's my bourbon? I'm going to accentuate all the different angles and modern shapes that I saw occurring in the cactus. And I'm going to play up on those to really get that kind of modern element to it. And that is what I'm going to do. And so I'm also going to, when the video is, with this video being completed, I'm also going to have a picture of the volcano that I completed from last week. So you're going to see that. And then in the next episode, I'm going to show you this painting completed. And this painting will go to Mark Slebut's gallery down in Tucson, Arizona, and which is a really appropriate location for it to go. And thank you so much for tuning in. And I hope you have a fantastic evening.